The Fossils of the South Downs, etc. Strata at Castle Hill near New Haven. Drawn by Gideon Mantell. Engraved by Marianne Mantell. The Fossils of the South Downs, or Illustrations of the Geology of Sussex, by Gideon Mantell, FLS, Fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons, Member of the Geological Society, etc. The engravings executed by Mrs. Mantell, from drawings by the author. Dès l'instant que je me suis consacré à la médecine, persuadé que la connaissance des corps naturels, source unique de la matière médicale, est indispensable aux médecins qui en tirent tous ses secours et qui y retrouvent tout ce qui, dans l'ordre physique, peut faire le bonheur ou causer le malheur des hommes. Je ne cessais d'y employer les moments dont les occupations nombreuses attachées à notre état m'ont laissé la disposition. Orthographie de Brusque par F.Y. Bertin. The mind which has been directed to the investigation of a favorite science is unwilling to persuade itself that its powers, however feeble, have been concentrated in vain, since the faintest rays, when collected into a focus, produce some degree of illumination. Dr. Armstrong. London, Lupton Ralph, 13, Cornhill, 1822. 2. Davies Gilbert, Esquire, M.P., F.R.S. and L.S., President of the Geological Society of Cornwall, etc., etc., etc. This volume is inscribed as a tribute of the highest respect to his talents and of gratitude for his friendship. Castle Place, Lewes, May 1st, 1822. Preface. The flattering manner in which the prospectus of the present volume has been received, and the condescension of His Majesty, who has been graciously pleased to honor it with his august patronage, are circumstances which demand my most grateful acknowledgments, and are the more gratifying to my feelings, as they were wholly unexpected. It is, however, with much diffidence that I appear before the public in the characters of an artist and an author, conscious as I am that my humble talents can offer but few pretensions to its favor or indulgence. Having, at an early period in life, imbibed a predilection for the study of natural history, and subsequently been educated in a profession intimately connected with that science, upon fixing my residence at Lewes, I resolved to devote my leisure moments to the investigation of the organic remains of a former world, a study replete with interest and instruction. The fossils of Sussex had not then excited attention, and this consideration induced me to select them for the more immediate objects of examination, since in a district previously unexplored by the geologist, there was reason to hope that some interesting and useful information might be obtained. How far that expectation has been realized, it is for the reader to determine. In the prosecution of these researches, the physical structure of the country necessarily came under consideration, and the inquiry assumed a new and more important character. The extraneous fossils were no longer regarded merely as subjects of natural history, but as memorials of revolutions which have swept over the face of the earth in ages antecedent to all human record and tradition. The following pages contain the result of my labors. They have been composed under circumstances particularly unfavorable to literary pursuits, and such as those only can duly appreciate who are aware of the numerous and anxious duties which a country practitioner is called upon to perform. Few indeed have been the moments dedicated to this work that have not been snatched from the hours of repose, after active and laborious exertion during the day. Another formidable obstacle has arisen from local situation, which has prevented access to a comprehensive library, and thus deprived me of the important aid to be derived from an unlimited reference to the works of others. If I allude to these circumstances, it is not from the unmanly wish of shrinking from candid and honorable criticism, but neither prudence nor policy require me to suppress anything that can be offered in extenuation of the imperfections of this volume. As the engravings are the first performances of a lady but little skilled in the art, I am most anxious to claim for them every indulgence. I am well aware that the partiality of a husband may render me insensible to their defects, but although they may be destitute of that neatness and uniformity which distinguish the works of the professed artist, they will not, I trust, be found deficient in the more essential requisite of correctness. It was originally intended to have restricted these researches to the southeastern division of Sussex, but they have insensibly extended over a wider field, and now, in a great measure, comprehend the geological phenomena of the whole county. That the sketch is incomplete, I most readily acknowledge, nor am I desirous that it should be considered in any other light than as a collection of facts illustrative of the physical structure of the district. The essay on the Mosaic account of the creation was communicated to me by a clergyman of the Established Church soon after the announcement of the present work for publication. The vast importance of the subject and the ability and temper with which it is discussed render any apology for its insertion unnecessary. I will not, however, conceal the gratification it affords me, that the excellent author has chosen these humble pages as the medium of its appearance before the public, since the arguments he has adduced must effectually silence the idle clamours that have been raised against geological speculations, from their supposed tendency to scepticism. I now arrive at the most gratifying part of my labours, that of returning my warmest thanks for the kind and able assistance which my scientific friends and correspondents have so liberally afforded me. But there are others to whom a deeper debt of gratitude is due, who have taken a lively interest in the success and reputation of the author, and have patronized his undertaking with a zeal and liberality far exceeding his most sanguine expectations. Among these, Mrs. Durant and William Baldock, Esquire of Mallinghouse, near Lewes, merit my warmest acknowledgments. To these excellent and much valued friends I am indeed under infinite obligations, and whatever may be the fate of this volume, the consciousness that it has procured me the acquaintance and esteem of characters as eminent in science as they are estimable in private life will more than compensate for any pains and anxiety it may have occasioned. Castle Place, Lewes, May 1st, 1822. Errata. The distance of the author from the press, and the hasty manner in which he has been compelled to inspect the proofs, have occasioned mistakes, which a more deliberate revision of the text would have prevented. Errors that are merely typographical are too obvious to require notice. Those which affect the sense are here subjoined. Page 15, line 28, for first, read Arun. Page 22, line 19, for Braxley, read Bexley. Page 23, line 18, for west, read coast. Page 27, line 7, for insulated, read insinuated. Page 30, line 3, for these, read there. Page 38, line 29, for they read the strata. Page 82, line 16, for ocula pectinat, read nucula pectinata. Page 101, line 5, for the marl, read sense the marl. Page 106, line 26, for spinous obtuse, read obtuse spinous. Page 108, line 8, for closal, read closely. Page 112, line 11, for have, read has. Page 141, line 31, for brongniarty, read hoperi. Page 164, line 29, for spungus corpus, read spungus corpus. Page 172, line 9, for a state, read the state. Page 174, line 18, for been closed, read be enclosed. Page 178, line 15, for et d'éponge, read d'éponge. Page 253, line 20, for circumstances similar, read similar circumstances. In the woodcut, page 175, the letters of reference BC are misplaced. The former should stand in the place of the latter. Since this volume was committed to the press, the public have been favored with an elegant and highly interesting work on the trilobites and fossil crustacea by M.M. Brongniart and Desmarais, in which allusion is made to the specimens from the Sussex chalk, and it is highly gratifying to me to find that the opinions of these eminent naturalists coincide with those I have advanced in the following pages. On the species which I have named Astucus leaci, see page 221, Mr. Desmarais offers the following remarks. Le crustacé auquel appartenaient ces pinces avait la forme ordinaire des nacrures et ne présentait sur les pièces que nous avons vues d'autres caractères extérieurs que ceux qui consistaient dans la présence de 3 faux tubercules sur chaque côté de la carapace, qui étaient d'ailleurs très robustes. Il était un peu plus grand que les écrevisses fluviatiles. Crust Foss, page 137. The fossil crustacea of the blue marl, see page 97, this celebrated philosopher considers, with Dr. Leach, as being nearly related to the genus Coristes, Crust Foss, page 125. The Celarus mantelli of Mr. Desmarais, Crust Foss, page 130, is, I believe, from Sussex, but as I have some doubts on the subject, it is not noticed in this volume. See Histoire naturelle des crustes fossiles par E. Brongniart et A. G. Desmarais. 1 volume, 4 books with 11 plates. Price £1, 1 shilling.